Welcome back. And if you tuned in late, we're talking about the Phyllis Wheatley Center in Greenville, which is celebrating 96 years. And I have two, I think, very special people here. And the new director is Darian Blue, excuse me. You're the new executive director.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's been living on the roof. That's what caught me. Yeah, Darian Blue. And then next to him is Samuel Dotson. And Samuel is the artistic director, and he works with kids of all ages, producing shows that we could all go to. Now, you get some funding every year from the state of South Carolina.
Yes, ma'am.
But it isn't enough to cover all the things that you people are trying to do.
No, ma'am.
Now, you do not have housing or anything like this. This is a place kids can come after school.
On the weekends.
On the weekends, you're open all the time.
Yes, ma'am. It is our intention to keep the center open 7 days a week.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. So that kids can have a safe place to go 7 days a week.
And you have, what, a couple hundred kids a day?
A couple hundred kids a day. During the summer, we have consistently from 7 in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. Over 250 kids attend our summer camp. And it is amazing. This past summer, they had a curriculum called STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, the arts, and math, and they actually learned how to do programming. And it was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life, how these kids, from what some people will call bad circumstances, learn so swiftly with through hands-on, and they have done some amazing things. You would be surprised at some of the things these kids have been able to accomplish.
And I want you to, during the break, you were telling that you came through the Phyllis Wheatley Center as a young boy.
I came through Phyllis Wheatley, I think I was 12 years old, and I lived on the west side. I lived over in the Freetown community, and I had never heard of Phyllis Wheatley. I was playing textile tournament AAU basketball, and I was the last kid on the bus, and I was singing all the way home. And the bus driver was just listening. And but when I got ready to get off the bus, he said, "I'm gonna pick you up." His name was David Fuller. He said, "I'm gonna pick you up and take you over to Phyllis Wheatley." He took me over to Phyllis Wheatley. I auditioned for the Repertory Theater, and the rest have been history. I've been there since I was 12 years old. If it had not been for this program and for this organization, I probably would not be sitting here today. And so I am forever indebted. You know, I'm paying it forward. I am giving back. I am doing what God has called all of us to do, and that is to make the lives of the people around us better. And so I'm giving my time to these young people because they deserve to have exactly what I had at Phyllis Wheatley. They deserve to experience what I experienced, and they deserve to be on the front line. They don't have to take a back seat to anyone. They deserve to be at the front, and we're trying to give them all that they need so they'll be confident enough and be okay with being in the front.
That's a wonderful testimony.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, so these kids, you said you're kind of like a father figure to many of these children who maybe don't have a father in the home.
That's right. That's true. That's true. We have a lot of kids, especially in my program. I have a few kids who are in single parents' home, in a single parent home, and so I spend a lot of time with these kids. And believe it or not, when the doors are closed and we're ready to go home, they're still hanging around Mr. Sam and Pastor Blue here because they're not quite ready to go. When they're out of school, they come to the center for workshops. The kids are out of school Thursday and Friday of this week. And so I have them to come to the center. They'll spend the day with me. We'll rehearse to keep them from being at home by themselves, and the parents have to worry about them while they're working. They come to the center and we do workshops all day.
Now, do you have lunch, or what do you do? How do you do this?
Yes, ma'am. Their lunches, we have lunch. During the summer, they have 3 meals. They have breakfast, lunch, and a snack. So we make sure that the kids are fed on a daily basis.
And that's a hot
and
breakfast, hot lunch,
yes,
and a snack.
A hot lunch every day.
Every day.
I'll bet there are hundreds. I have to tell you that I have lived in Greenville many, many years. I've heard of the Phyllis Wheatley Center. I've never been there, so I am coming. I'm coming there to see you.
Right.
And maybe we'll bring our cameras and we'll just see what's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
But you have constant productions.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have football. You have after-school programs and you encourage these young people to stay in school.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am. We understand that education is vitally important. Education helps you make right decisions,
You
and
bet,
so
you
we want to
bet.
make sure that these kids have a good quality education.
And the world is becoming more technical all the
It
time.
is.
And if you don't have an education in the years to come, you're going to really be out.
Right.
And in order for the children to be a part of the repertory theater, I have three things. Their priority is school. That school is first, home, and then the repertory theater. And if you can't follow the instructions in school and do what you're supposed to do, then we all work together. That means that sometimes you have to come to rehearsal and you're not able to perform because your grades are not what they need to be. If you're not following the instructions at home that your parents give you, then you can't come to Phyllis Wheatley and respect me and do what I tell you to do when you're not doing it at home. So I work with the parents. We have frequent parent meetings.
You
Parents
do.
have to be involved with what the children are
That's
doing
very
because
important.
our program cannot operate without the support guild, which is made up of the parents.
Now, and we do have a phone number, which I hope we've had it up on the screen. If anybody wants more information, you can call that number. And then you had something else that we didn't put on the screen that you were going to tell people.
Yeah, so if anybody wanted to make a donation to Phyllis Wheatley, because we do need funds, and I was telling you during the break that it costs anywhere between $7,500 to $10,000 a month
Yeah.
just to keep the lights on, the water going, and the gas
And
on,
the food that you feed them, and the
food
programs.
and
I can well understand that.
It takes a whole lot, and from the outside looking in, some people might suggest that we can just do it and without any funding, but it doesn't work that way. At the end of the day, it takes money to do it. And so what we've done is we've created a GoFundMe account. And if anybody wants to give to the Phyllis Wheatley Association, they can go to www.gofundme.com/PWA Upstate. And that's a gofundme.com/PWA Upstate.
Okay, and I'll keep all that information here as well. Or you can call the telephone on the number on the screen and
Yes,
get the more information.
Yes, ma'am.
But you gladly accept donations.
Absolutely. They can swing
From
by the
anybody.
center. They can come by the center and leave a donation, or they can go online and make the donation.
Well, for those people who may not know, where are you located exactly?
We're located at 335 Greenacre Road. That's the address for Phyllis Wheatley for where the programs are held. And then 40 John McCarroll Way is where the executive offices are. So we're right over in the Nicholtown community.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
And for those you welcome people to call and come for a visit and
Oh, yes,
whatever.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And most of the people involved do not receive salaries. They donate their time. Do I have that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's where we are right now.
Yes, ma'am. And we have 5 people that donate their time. And when I say donate, I want people to get understanding, because I'm not just saying a couple hours a day, but I'm talking anywhere from 5 to 7 hours a day that we're working hard as if we're getting paid to make sure that these kids have a brighter future. So everybody's volunteering their time as of now.
And you share with these kids. I imagine you have some young people come in there who are really hurting,
Oh, yes,
who
ma'am.
need
We-
love, who
we
need
do.
support.
And we wrap our arms around them, and we love on them because somebody, they did the same for me, and so these kids, they deserve it. But yeah, we have children who need, they need a place like Phyllis Wheatley. One of the things that I would like to share, and I want people to know, that Phyllis Wheatley is a nonprofit organization. That's what it is. So anything that anybody decide that they want to donate, they can write this off on their taxes. We want them to know that we encourage you to come over. And even before you give, if you got questions, we encourage you to come over and see. Let the children, the children can tell the story better than any of us. Let the children tell the story.
And right now you do need funding.
Yes,
you need
ma'am.
addition
Yes, ma'am.
to what you already have.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So anybody out there who is considering, you might put the Phyllis Wheatley Center in your prayers, and you'll take any amount.
Yes, ma'am.
$5, $10,
Yes, ma'am.
$10,000, you don't
Yes,
care.
ma'am. We don't
Yes,
care.
ma'am. Anything helps, and it all goes towards making the lives of these children that much better.
And you have every day, I'll bet, new kids coming through that door.
Yes, ma'am. And you know, we have so many kids that walk by the center that want to come in, but since we don't have the funds, we don't have enough staff to allow them to come in. That's what's heartbreaking for me.
Well, you have the physical space
Yes.
to accommodate groups and so forth.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can accommodate, you know, a whole lot of people.
Do you need volunteers?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
We need volunteers. Yes, ma'am. If we have more volunteers, we could allow more kids to come in. So while we're serving over around 200 kids a day, we can double that easily if we have more volunteers, or if we had donations to pay more staff. You know, or we can even triple that, because we have such.
But you do
a huge
pay some
space.
people. You mentioned you have donations to help cover the staff
During the summer months.
in the summer.
ma'am.
Yeah, because you have that camp.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Happy birthday, 96 years. God bless you for what you are, the outreach to our young people. And may you go on for another 100 years.
Thank you.
Keep in touch, and I'll be down there.
Please do.
Wherever you are, you might think about these young people that maybe don't have everything they need at home, and these people are here to fill in that gap. Stay happy.